We've completed another year of New Generation Navy program, which has leadership at its core. We should now take the opportunity to review what we've achieved since the program began in 2009 and what new challenges have emerged to which we can apply our New Generation Navy principles over the next 12 months. I think you'll agree that our Navy has evolved from that which existed 2 years ago. Leadership training at all levels has vastly improved, and I see positive signs that the signature behaviours are being embraced by our people. But we need these to be ingrained into our culture because issues of negative cultural elements continue to plague us in the national media and within our own ranks. No one is saying our Navy is perfect or that we still don't have a long way to go. We are in time of change with the Strategic Reform Program and preparations for Force 2030, and these are tough undertakings. The purpose of this video is to celebrate what we've achieved as we come to New Generation Navy's second anniversary, particularly those achievements at the deck plate level, in the fleet, in the regions and ashore. The Navy has a very important job to do, and I don't just mean our operational commitments overseas and in defending our national interests in the maritime domain. We are often called upon to help our fellow Australians in times of natural disaster, a task many of you completed admirably in recent months. For us to do our job, we need a supportive culture in which we can look after and help each other and have all the opportunities to learn and progress. We should be able to balance work and life when we need to and have our contribution respected and recognised. I know that many of you share my commitment to ensuring the New Generation Navy program demonstrates real results. But the results are not just NGN. They are our results, Navy's achievements. I will leave it up to my fellow Navy members to tell their story on how we are driving results in the fleet.
Much has happened across the fleet, both at sea and ashore, in the past 12 months. As I move around our ships, establishments, naval air squadrons and clearance diving teams, I'm pleased to report that I have observed noticeable differences. I'm even more pleased that so much of that difference has been underpinned by New Generation Navy. Perhaps most observable is the way in which our people are thinking and acting. To me, our people are routinely applying more lateral thought to the way we go about our everyday business than we have ever before. Unshackled from conventional approach, I have seen ever-evolving innovation and a determination to confront our problems and initiate resolution. Wherever I go, I see people questioning what we do, which in my mind is very healthy as it demonstrates a will to change. In July last year, Fleet's overarching plan to optimise the way we do business was launched. Themed the Fleet Operating Concept, it has laid out the principles by which we achieve the capability generation responsibilities we have. The Fleet Operating Concept serves to maximise training opportunities to achieve Navy's directed level of preparedness in an enduring and cost-conscious manner. It's now being achieved by the generation of quality sea days over quantity, the introduction of several fleet concentration periods per year, each known as the Exercise Triton series, simultaneous fleet unit workups, a more balanced program of domestic and overseas visits, the introduction of a high-end warfighting regeneration program, which includes complex group warfare events, enhanced tactical development periods, along with experimentation activities, and also the scheduling of routine fitness training, sport and team building initiatives. This approach has been underpinned by the evolving cultural shift and leadership delivered via New Generation Navy.
FSU's job is to take the on-the-job component, that is actually using the lathes, using the equipment and using the knowledge to progress them through so they can line up maintenance aspects with what they've learnt in their training environment. As they get more and more mature in the organisation and they feel easier in the organisation, that's where the leadership starts to develop. That's where we look at them after their comp log and we look at what they're doing and we try and take them up in the system, both educationally and rank-based, and instill in them in those qualities that they need to have to direct, correct, and make sure that things are done right the first time.
We seem to be getting a lot more direction from the ranks above us, from the PO down to Kellic, down to the AB. There's no more the ABs going out and trying to figure out the job for themselves. They actually got a Kellic on hand to ask for assistance or even just to tell us how to do it.
I definitely enjoy teaching you guys what to do and how to maintain stuff on the Armadales. The new guys, it's kind of harder because you have to teach them, but once they know their stuff, then you feel comfortable letting them go and do it themselves. I found, being taught by our PO in Kellic, that if you don't know what you're doing, you feel comfortable asking them and they'll show you what to do, and then you can do it again. Yeah, it's a pretty good feeling once you know that you've done the job properly first time round, and yeah, you get to see the boats go out. It's a pretty good feeling.
The course that we're running here at Cerberus is a 2-day leadership development workshop. So what we normally run is a 1-day course on the leading seaman promotion course. So this course incorporates what we do normally on the leading seaman, but with a 360-degree reporting component. So they have an opportunity to have a look at their own thinking and behaviour styles, but also ask up to 5 people that they trust and respect to give us some honest feedback on how they see their thinking and behaviour styles. That way they can be very self-aware with what their behaviour is influencing within their workplace.
What the 360 does is it gives them a really good insight into the way that they think about themselves and also about leadership. But what we can also do there as well is compare how their behaviours are being perceived out in the workplace. So how other people are experiencing them as leaders in the workplace. So by really looking at what constitutes an effective leader and creating a picture of what that looks like on a circumplex and comparing that with their own 360 report, we can get a great indication of where they're at right now. That's obviously going to be fantastically beneficial when they go out into the fleet and they're leading people at all levels out there.
Being a leading seaman, that is the first time that you're going to be in a leadership / managerial role, and not everyone has the skill sets when they get promoted to leading seaman to be an effective leader. Doing the NGN courses, I guarantee there will be at least one day, whether it's halfway through the first morning or on the second day, where you go, wow, I've actually learned something today. You can take something away from it, but you've got to be willing to put in. You'll only get out of it what you put in.
I think by understanding what my major traits are, I can then have like a universal look at the way I do my instruction techniques. Am I actually coming across as that to other people? Should I wind it in? Should I turn it up a little more? I think it gives you the option to know who you are and to use that to better yourself.
It's about us, learning about ourselves. And it is really informative, giving us different sort of tools and stuff to use. So,
as a leading seaman, they are very influential with the junior sailors. So it's very important they are self-aware with how their leadership is influencing the people that they work with. So by undertaking this workshop, they can make changes to become a more effective leader and make sure that we get things right.
Some specific examples that are worthy of mention as they relate to signature behaviours are the sea swap trial conducted between HMO ships Ballarat and Stewart. An impressive cost-conscious activity, the crew swap between these two platforms has enabled the force assignment of a mission-ready ship at some $3 million less cost than transferring equipment between ships. Particularly well conducted by the two ships' companies, this initiative is an example of what we should be doing to optimise fleet outcomes. Fixing problems and taking action has been very well demonstrated by the training force and our submarine force. Both were faced with enormous challenges in transitioning our significant number of trainees into a trained force. Both have used impressive innovation and a determination to make a difference, and both have succeeded. Our trained force has grown by around 1,000 people over the past 2 years, made possible by a rationalisation of training throughput, including better sequencing of courses, use of simulation and refreshed curriculums that are focused on fighting to win. The result has been, I think, truly impressive. In Western Australia, the Submarine Force has qualified the largest number of submariners during the past year than in any other year of the history of our Australian submarine arm. This has been achieved through considerable initiative and innovation, including the significant use of alongside submarines. The drive towards a zero duty watch, most particularly during reduced activity periods over the Christmas-New Year season, has continued to promote the well-being of our people. Thousands of additional leave days have been created through reduced requirement for people in home ports. Pursuit of a duty watch down to zero in certain scenarios remains firmly in our sights. Finally, I wish to highlight the initial success of the recently promulgated Fleet Fitness Regime. The requirement for all in Fleet Command to conduct 2 one-hour periods of fitness training and/or team building activities per week has been a difficult one to introduce amongst busy people. That said, the need to achieve heightened levels of fitness and health have been proven, and it's now quite inspiring to see literally hundreds of our people carrying out this requirement on a daily basis. Indeed, myself and my own office staff are better off due to our own weekly sessions, and change is quite demonstrable. I can say most unreservedly that I am enormously proud of the achievements you have made, personally and collectively, over the past 12 months. That said, I recognise there remains a way to go. We cannot take our feet off the accelerator if we are to drive the change we know we need. NGN is our mechanism to achieve that change and will underpin our actions across Fleet Command. It requires us all to be firmly on board. We let down our shipmates if we think someone else will fix it for us. Remember, it is we that are responsible for taking charge of our future and nobody else.
It's very easy to disregard people's contributions because it just happens every day. Every working day, people come up with ideas or just do something that you don't think of, and they obviously contribute to you getting your own job done. I think it's just a matter of course that you don't notice it because everyone does it, so it's happening.
From my perspective, I've got a very good team of senior sailors, leading seamen and able seamen, which makes training these trainees quite easy. They're integrated into our section, they become part of the ET world, they're part of the we division. They're each assigned a billeted sailor to help them with their development, and we rotate them through so that they're not working with the same person all the time or in the same section, so they get a very broad cross-section of experience which enables them to progress their comp log at a very high rate.
On opera leaves where you go to another vessel just to help out, you use your own skills, you go there and you try and assist them in doing what they need to do just to get the job done. I've been on HMAS Peary up in Darwin, just over Christmas Island. Training's good, like you're always learning new stuff, like just doesn't matter what, like if it's a different day you'll learn something new, it always changes, so it always keeps you busy.
We as a Navy are making cultural change for the better. Our signature behaviours are being used in our workplaces, be it at sea, ashore, on duty or off duty. Looking to the future, our new amphibious capability is now starting to take shape. The MRH-90s, our new Navy helicopters, will provide us with a new level of air support. Our work-life balance for our sailors and our new leadership development and mentoring programs are starting to take shape and be presented all across Navy. New Generation Navy is only 2 years into a 5-year program, and we have made some significant progress to date. However, we still have some work to do to ensure that we are a Navy that we and the Australian community can be proud of.
In our third year of New Generation Navy, we will work to keep achieving these results and ensure they are building the kind of Navy we want to belong to. I continue to be impressed by the commitment of many of our Navy people and how they are doing their part to influence Navy's culture for the better. But I know that some remain unconvinced and perhaps even cynical. A few have even acted in a way that is in direct contrast to how we as a Navy should live and work together. I say this to you now. If your behaviour is not consistent with the signature behaviours and the Navy values, and you're not willing to change, then there is no place for you in our Navy. Now is the time to get on board and stay engaged with New Generation Navy, because this is the crucial point where change can only be influenced by those in the service. It's only with your help and how you manage your subordinates and your part of ship that we will set a course for our desired culture.
For further information on New Generation Navy, Signature Behaviours of the Month and cultural reform, inquire through your divisional system or visit the New Generation Navy intranet site.